Kia ora, Markie here. I'm experimenting with doing a video on the trot, which hasn't gone brilliantly well so far. I just messed up the first one. That's going to make a brilliant blooper. So I'm walking through town. It's the closest you're going to get with me to probably an action video. No, you got. I did do one of me going up the mountain. Loads of murals here. Try and kind of give you a little glimpse of what's around. Big elephant up there. He's cool. So I want to talk about retroactive jealousy. I'm getting out of breath already. Yes, more murals and stuff. So we're now coming into the main drag, which is good. It's all undercover because it's kind of a bit of a rainstorm going on. So, retroactive jealousy. What I wanted to talk about is that retroactive jealousy often doesn't come alone. It comes with other conditions or other psychological issues, hang-ups, what have you. So if you want to enhance your recovery, the more informed you can be about your own mental health and your own workings, if you like, the more effective that's likely to be. You're likely to find things that are going to help you because you'll identify your strengths, and you'll find things that maybe where secondary gains, we've done another video on secondary gains, come in, things that stop you getting well, or things that get in the way of treatment. So for example, a lot of people, without realising it, are on the autistic spectrum or have ADHD, loads of undiagnosed stuff along those lines, or a mild form of a personality disorder. Not necessarily, I'm talking about diagnosable things, but not necessarily those, although it can be lots of different anxiety disorders, because RJ is part of an anxiety disorder. So it comes under obsessive compulsive disorder. So you've got other anxiety disorders. You've got panic disorder, generalised anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder. And it's, like I say, not so much necessarily diagnosable things, but core beliefs, things that we've swallowed whole from our parents and from society. Often different values and beliefs that we've taken on don't add up, so there's got an inner kind of clash or dissonance going on. So the more we can know ourselves, the better recovery can be. And I need a bit of physical recovery, I think, because I'm out of breath. I am walking up a hill, in fairness. So, how can you do this? Well, we always talk about therapy and recommend therapy. That's a good way to do things. Always good to... I always recommend when I'm working with people, or when I have been working with people, is to do an attachment style questionnaire. I'll see if I can scare up the one I usually use and put it in the links. You can get your partner to do that as well. That's really good information. And the other thing that I use a lot these days is the Big 5 personality test. And again, you can do that one online. It'll give you lots of information. It's not about pathology, it is about personality. So it covers things like how conscientious you are, how open you are to experience, extroversion versus introversion, how neurotic you might be, so that's in terms of anxiety and distress. And it gives you kind of quite an interesting kind of personal profile picture of yourself. So the more ways you can learn about yourself, the more ways you can kind of observe your thinking, be aware of your hang-ups, be aware of your foibles, the stronger your recovery can be, really. So as I think it was written on the entrance to the Oracle at Delphi, I think it said know thyself. Am I right? Am I thinking of the right quotation? So self-awareness is the key to a lot of things, really. Some people think it's indulgent, kind of navel gazing, and it's kind of almost like a kind of masturbation kind of activity. And I guess to an extreme it can be, but actually if you look at the bulk of people out there in the world, the emphasis, really there are more people who are frighteningly unself-aware than there are people who are navel gazing and kind of becoming over self-analytical. It's kind of seen as this kind of selfish, self-centered, indulgent thing. But actually, if more people were self-aware, then there'd be less arseholes around, because if you look at most people that are a problem to other people, if you ask them about themselves, and have they considered therapy, or have they looked into how they tick, they're very dismissive about that. And it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because they're the ones that cause the most harm and hurt to other people very often. So I think personally, self-awareness, self-exploration, really good, really positive, really healthy. I mean, think about it really in lots of other ways, is understanding how you work and how you tick. I mean, if you're just at a crossing, so I'm just pressing the lights. If we buy a car, we might well look at the manual, find out a little bit, find out where, what kind of maintenance it needs and that kind of thing, and learn a little bit about the spec. Why wouldn't we do that with ourselves, really? If we get a new job, we learn all about it, so we're always learning things, in the external world. We should be learning about ourselves as well, because really that's where it all starts. We are the producer. Everything that we do, whether it's good or bad, comes from in here and in here. So it's always good to be of an exploratory disposition. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. What did you think of my roving retroactive jealousy style videos on the trot? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. Just a short thing to give you some food for thought, and we'll be back again soon. I've got loads more videos up my sleeve. I've got another review of Falling Skies series 2. I've got that one to do. I've just produced 3 others today, including one on rainbow Nazis. A bit of a controversial thumbnail on that. I don't know whether that's going to offend people or put people off, so let me know if you watch that what you think about the thumbnail, and I will catch you soon. Rangimarie.